Warning, Memecoin madness. This is NC Hammer Crypto. My name's Neil, where we keep technical analysis short and sweet. And as you can see, Bitcoin is at 122,000. Yet my emotions have not changed. As I'm told, I'm emotionless. Just trying to stay focused on the market is what I say. But as we can see, it is curving up with this red curve that I have put in a few days ago. And we are holding support off this black upward trend line. If this closes above this recent high, which it looks like it's clearly going to be doing, we can start expecting something similar to this red line here, where the next couple of days we have a pump up potentially to 150,000. I don't think it's going to be that quick, but anything's possible in crypto. I'm going to split these videos into maybe 2 or 3 videos so you guys can get a little bit more technical analysis within it. Apparently I brought up D-Force, but I'm going to use mostly meme coins. D-Force is actually looking very nice right now, as we can clearly see that there is a very nice W pattern forming. We can expect a potential push up on D-Force from its current price up about 40% before it may get rejected by the 200 EMA. So keep that one in mind. We're actually going to go to, what was it? Was it Toshi? I think it was Toshi. Toshi USD, we'll do Coinbase. And Toshi is breaking out. Every time we see it break this downward wedge, like we saw back here in, March to April. Once it broke, it held support on the new bottom here, and then had that push up towards 0.0008. We are now breaking it once more after finishing out this inverse head and shoulders that I had planned out here for quite a while now, actually. And we broke this downward trend line, the 200 EMA. Where's the 200 EMA on this? I believe it's this little line. It's not fully showing on this chart. That could just be my, no, yeah, that's the 200 EMA. 200 EMA is starting to curve upwards. The Toshi broke up and out of this area. A lot of people are like, oh, I'm going to miss the pump. Not necessarily. We could still see this retrace and test this as support, and keeping the CM guppy nice and close. The blue and green are meeting right here, right around the 0.0065. And so if we come back, we are most likely going to be testing the CM guppy as well as trying to keep that 200 EMA close. However, the RSI is about to break out over the top. And when we go back in time, way back over here on May 9th, more or less, we broke out of the RSI, and then we had that major pump. So that is a possibility. As we see, we are about to break out of the RSI right here. So we could see a major pump, but we would still need to close above this previous high to see the actual structure play out and start seeing more upward momentum to the 618, which is dropping a 0, being 0.0015. So Toshi is not looking bad at all. It is the meme coin for Coinbase, keeping all that in mind. There is potential to start seeing some major profits in Toshi. So don't be worried about entering. Just make sure you're playing the part right. Now looking at Doge, we had that pullback a little bit past the 618, and then we started building an upward trend line, and we got a little rejection here at 25 cents, which was expected. And so we are most likely going to get a little bit of consolidation before breaking up over that point. And then the next stop, we have to break over this previous high at 27 cents, more or less. And so that push up to 27 cents closing, we can expect the next movement to be somewhere within this area around 35 cents. From a 23-cent investment, that's pretty good profit. But Dogecoin, similar to Toshi, it is a meme coin, but Elon Musk does back Dogecoin. Who knows, maybe you can buy a Tesla with Dogecoin. I think he even accepts the payments on his platform. But we are looking for a break above 24 cents before potentially entering. Volume is decreasing, price is increasing, which is divergence. We may test this yellow line here once more, fill out a little bit of a W pattern before breaking up to the upside, as Bitcoin is now at 122,000, the all-time high. And Shib, if you missed out on your Toshi pump, SHIB is actually not a bad entry at this point. We just need to get over this 200 EMA as we pushed up off this downward trend line. It's getting more stronger support, so we could technically do something like this, say that's the trend line that we want to follow, and start seeing if it pushes up or consolidates within this area to get pushed up off this trend line, build that higher low, and then start pushing towards this downward trend line. Toshi did already break its downward trend line, which increased that pump it's going to pull up D-Force when we were looking at it previously. But getting over this 200 EMA, somewhere in this area, closing above this previous high and getting above that 200 EMA is the more important things that we were looking at. So say we draw a downward trend line from here. This is essentially the area where we may get a little bit of resistance, but if we can break up over that and close and hold, we can expect to start pushing up towards the 0.0000204 area roughly. But Shiba Inu is not a bad bet for a meme coin. I think Toshi has a little bit more backing behind it, but we've seen Shiba Inu go from almost nothing, like 5 zeros and a 7, all the way up to around 4 zeros, 8, 9. And you say, oh, it's just 1 0. 1 0 is major when you're looking at potential ROI on something like a meme coin. So you definitely want to get out. You don't want to be holding this thing forever. But within, what is that, maybe a month? Let's see, 32 days, yep, roughly a month, 1,149%. I'm not saying put, $20,000 into Shiba Inu, you're going to be a millionaire. I mean, that's always possible. Meme coins are crazy. Before they start regulating cryptocurrencies, meme coins are going to make a lot of people profitable. But also there are rug pulls. So you could be the person who's buying up in this area, and then it just goes all the way to almost nothing and just destroying your portfolio. So definitely do risk management. Don't be putting all your eggs in one basket, and wait to see if this breaks over this 200 EMA, which it most likely will, judging by what Bitcoin is doing. And we see that Bitcoin is most likely going to close over its previous high, being its absolute new all-time high for Bitcoin, which is pretty astronomical, trading it from $139 back in the day up to $122,000. It's pretty ludicrous. But we just need to get over that 200 EMA for SHIB. And then Floki is filling out that W formation, trying to hold higher lows, and we see that it pushed up. I was saying the other day we need to see it come back and test this 200 EMA. I guess not the other day, a few days ago, maybe a week and a half, test that 200 EMA, which it did. We are building that upward trend line. RSI is looking very healthy. We may want to touch this yellow line once more, which would be essentially touching this trend line to show that it is showing as support. The 200 EMA is underneath that, so Floki is actually looking a little bit better than SHIB at the moment, just for the potential entry. But SHIB, once it gets over that 200 EMA, we can expect something similar. So if you look at this pattern right here, let's zoom in, let's get a little box going so you guys can kind of see. This area is kind of what we are looking at in this area right here. Very, very similar. So once it gets over that 200 EMA, it's bound to pop. And so very similar structures. Floki has already done its push and its retracement, which Shiba Inu needs to do. It needs to push, retrace, test that 200 EMA, and then start building more bullish momentum. That's kind of it for this video on meme coins. I hope you guys learn a little bit. I'll be doing a lot of the other cryptocurrencies on the next 2 videos. References in the description below, and good luck. Have fun with it.